Hey everyone, it's Melanie of Art Studio 320, and today I am going to share 10 necessities I use in flipping furniture. Now, these may vary for you, but these are the things that I have found the most useful. However, it is not all of them, but it is a good handful of things that you can use to get started. Since I'm holding these in my hand, let's start with paintbrushes. 4 of these are from Zibra, Z-I-B-R-A. This is a round brush. A round brush like this is great for spindles on legs of a table or on a railing. These are just phenomenal brushes. They hold a lot of paint and they're really great to use. This is a fan brush. I don't know if there's anything specific. I use it for a lot of different projects. This is a wedge brush, and a wedge brush is very good for big surfaces, and it holds a lot of paint as well. This is a square brush. You can tell because it's a square on the end. Square brush is really great for small trim. I use this one all the time. Actually, I use all of these all the time. 4 of the 5 here are synthetic, and the synthetic brushes are easy to clean and they just hold up better. This last one is called a Phoebe. That's the name of it. I got it from Melange, and what's great about this is you can see it comes to a point, and this is great for little tiny areas like the corners of a piece of furniture. This is this is my newest brush. So really, you need to find the brushes that are right for you, but you may want to try the Zibra brushes, and you may even want to try the Phoebe. This is by Melange. All of the materials that I use today will be in the description box below with a link for you to find them. All right, that was number 1. Number 2, safety. This is a respirator, a mask for sanding. These filters are for particles, and they come right off, and you can just purchase these filters. These are 2091s, and these are for dust particles. So these are very good for sanding. Now, if you are working with toxic materials, vapors, such as a stripping furniture, you're gonna want to have a filter like this, which is specifically for vapors. This will not work. This will not help you with vapors, but this will. This will not help you with dust. This will. They are different, and you need both. This goes on like that. There we go. It goes like this. This goes over your head. This goes here. And you can put this goes down. And then this goes back here. What I like most about this mask is this little lever here. You can pull this up and it will loosen the mask without having to take the whole thing off, so that you can take a breath and rest for a little while before you put it back on. You can breathe with these, you have to get used to it, but this is absolute necessity, especially when you're using a sander. Aha, nice segue, right? This is the Bosch Random Orbital Sander. This little container on the back holds the dust. It twists to get it off, but if I do, the dust will go everywhere. And then this comes off, and then you just dump it in the trash. You will know as soon as it gets full because it will start spitting out those holes. What happens is when you're sanding, kind of is a vacuum that sucks up the dust and puts it into here. But it doesn't hold everything. You still need your mask with your particle filters when you sand. This has a pad, and it has, it's almost like Velcro that you attach your sandpaper too. This comes in all different grits. I use a 60 grit, an 80 grit, a 120, a 220, and a 240. That's what I use most of the time, but there are more than that. But that is really the most you need for refinishing a piece of furniture. And then it goes on like that. Very nice to have. These pads you do need to replace. In fact, mine is getting a little bit ragged. That's number 3. Number 4, this is a screwdriver. My husband gave me this. This is from Milwaukee. What's cool about this is it has 2 ends here, and it has a little spot that locks into place. And you put it in like this, and you just snap it in and it stays. What's cool about this is there's not just 2 bits, but there's 4. There's a flat head and the Phillips. And then on the other side, forgive me, I don't know what these are called, but this is like a square head. Maybe that's what it's called. And a bigger square head. You don't use those nearly as much as you do the Phillips. And that's that. Really good to have. A power driver is good too, but it's not a necessity necessarily, although it does make your life much easier. These you have to have. These are called sanding sponges, and specifically they are called Safe and Tough. You can actually wash these, and they are great because they last a really long time. This is 1500 to 1200. Actually, there's one that's even more than that, and that's the 2000 to 1800. This is like, it's almost, well, it is pretty smooth, but there is a tiny little bit of grit there. This is great when you're sanding down your painted surface to make it nice and smooth. There are 8 in a pack. They are all different grits. This one, I believe, is 1,800, and I think there's a 600 to 500. Now these are sanding sponges too, but they're thicker and they're nice to grip, and that's a lower grit. So it's a little rougher, but still 220 is really nice. Now I wrote that on there with a Sharpie, because what happens is when you buy your sponge, it comes like this, right? It looks like that. And you take it off, and then you don't know what it is anymore. So I write them on here. I haven't written that on all of them, but I do now on my new ones. This one's 320, and this one is 220. This one is 60, but I would never remember that. You can find these are by 3M, most of them. You can find these at any hardware store. They are a little bit more expensive. They're $2 or $3 a piece. Get the better ones. There are some that say they last a little longer, and they do. This one has been put through the ringer. 3M and Scotch. Okay. Next up, Tack Cloths. So after you're sanding, these are really great for cleaning off your piece of furniture before you paint and after you paint, to clean it off with everything, all the dust. This is a Tack Cloth from Home Depot. These actually are not my favorite. These are the ones that I have at this moment. I like the 3M Tack Cloths. These are just so sticky that sometimes they get on the furniture and it makes it kind of waxy, but they are really great for pulling off all the dust from your furniture. So that's a must. This is dirty. In fact, all my microfiber cloths are dirty. Well, it's stained. I don't know that it's that dirty, but this is also a must-have. A microfiber cloth is great for after you sand your piece, your painted surface. You go back with this because it's going to be all dusty and it's going to look like you wrecked the surface. You go back with this microfiber cloth and you just polish with it, and it works really, really well. So I highly recommend any kind of microfiber cloth. You can find them at anywhere, really. This is mineral spirits. Now, mineral spirits is really a great cleaner. It kind of replaced, in the art world anyway, the need for turpentine, which is pretty toxic. Now, this is a solvent as well, but it's a little bit gentler. I actually clean my hands off with mineral spirits. If your hands are super sensitive, I wouldn't recommend it. But this is still flammable, so you still have to take the same precautions. But it will take off stain off your hands. It will clean off wax. It will, if you've stained an area by accident and the area is waxed, this will clean off the stain. Very nice to have. If you are using like a metallic wax for embellishing an area on your piece of furniture, this will take off the wax in areas that you may have hit that you didn't mean to hit. This is a lifesaver. If you waxed a piece of furniture in a dark wax that you didn't like, I've done that, this will take it off. So I would recommend that you get mineral spirits. It also cleans your brushes if you used an oil-based paint. Along with this, and I don't have this in front of me, but a Dawn dish soap or a generic Dawn dish soap like Up and Up from Target, I use that all the time to clean off my brushes, whether they're oil-based or not. If Dawn dish soap is good enough to clean off ducks from an oil spill, it will work on cleaning off your brushes. What do we have left? This one. Plastic Wood-X is a material that I had to warm up to. It's a wood filler and I really love it. It's bright pink when you first buy it. After you've had it for a little while, it turns a little bit less pink. But if it starts to dry up, you can actually use your spray bottle and get it wet again, and it will turn pink again. Probably not as bright pink as it was when you first bought it. I will say that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this stuff because it is toxic. You definitely, when you're sanding the wood filler down on your piece, you have to have your mask with your particle filters on. This has silica sand in it, and silica sand is a cancerous material. Don't sand off your Wood-X without your mask on. Plastic Wood-X is really a great wood filler because it's so liquidy. It's really nice to fill in scratches and holes, and I even use it to fix corners. A lot of people don't like to do that. It does get thicker, so you can mold it a little bit more, but there are other products out there that you can purchase fixing corners and missing pieces. The last one, number 10, is actually one that I can't share. I won't share. It's my husband, Phil. My husband has been invaluable to me. He is a necessity. I have learned so much from him, and he's been very encouraging and supportive. So you can't have him, but here he is.
You can do it.
If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment and press that red button. You can follow me on Instagram, and you can find me on Etsy, where I sell some of my past projects that I've done right here on my channel. All of the materials that I use today will be in the description box below. Thanks for being here. See you next time.